Good evening, everyone, and hi, and welcome to tonight's Anything Liverpool stream. If you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and make sure your notifications are all on for future streams and videos. Please also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and the website. Good evening, lads. Welcome to my fellow mates, Craig, Deck, and Mo. How have you all been doing so far?
Good. Not bad. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yeah,
Here comes the weekend, my friends. Here
Oh,
comes the
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
There you go.
international football.
Yeah, so we're going through a few topics today, and I think the first one I want to start off with today is the rumors about Slot's new contract he's being offered. I have seen some stupid questions about whether he deserves it or not, but I think that's just, clickbait, to be honest. I'm going to start with you, Deck.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about this news about his new contract? Because the one he has ends after next season, so
Right.
it has to be done now, really.
Yeah. If you look at it, like you said, it's at the end of next season. He would leave. So, I think it's only fair. I think, regardless, I think a lot. Just to touch in general, really, the contract situation with Slot, great, perfect. I think he deserves it. He's won the league. Why not? But I think people are quick to judge on social media. We might have had a little slight dip in form, but really, it's 3 games. It's very early in the season. We've had a lot gone on in the summer, and but anyone who's reluctant of Slot signing a new contract, I feel like it's a little bit naive of you as a Liverpool fan, in my opinion, because do you know what? It's not. I don't even try and think about it too much because I just don't really pay attention to it. I think it's a little bit silly. I think Slot getting a new contract is great for the football club. It solidifies what he wants, his vision going forward. And let's not forget, we've had the best transfer window, not just for Liverpool, but I think it's the best transfer window I've seen in world football for a very, very, if not the best I've ever seen. So Slot deserves this, and he deserves that time with his players that he has brought in.
I agree. I think, like Flo here says, he proves otherwise. Well, he has kind of proved it already, so I don't know what the fuss
Yeah,
is all about.
exactly. It's silly. It's silly if you don't think if you think he has to until he proves otherwise. We've had 3 bad games. It's what happens. Like, if anyone, I don't see why anyone would argue that it's not the most beneficial thing for the football club for Slot to stay and sign a new contract, give him that security, give him that boost, make his mentality think, yeah, I'm here to win. This is the new era of the football club.
I think it's more important now because we've had a bad run to show faith. Mo, what are your thoughts about this? Do you agree with Deck on this, or do you think we should give it a little bit more time before we sign a new contract?
I think ultimately it's as much as we can speculate and everything, it's not up to us entirely. The club clearly back him. They wouldn't have given him a war chest to spend during this summer window if there was any inclination that he wasn't going to get re-signed. They wouldn't let another manager inherit a squad this deep and this expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, I kind of you mentioned a good point there. I think maybe the club. I think maybe the club thought that this was maybe the year where we can start building his team and get the results, and I think he maybe surprised the team or the owners a little bit by winning already last year. Craig, I bet you have some thoughts about this.
Yeah, I have. Well, from what I can gather, what I've been looking up on today, his agent's already started talks with the club. I think this has been going on for a while. I mean, I agree with what Deck said. I mean, he came in last year. Nobody expected him to do anything. He won the league with the team what Jurgen left him. Now, 7 players have left. 7 players have come in. We've played 9 games. If you count all the Champions League games, we've lost 1 and won 1 in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have said to any of the guys in the chat or on the stream, 7 games into the league season, we'll lose 2 and win 5, you'd have snatched my hand off. But there's a lot of similarities what I'm seeing with Liverpool as they were playing with PSG in 2024. because they went through exactly the same thing. And then all of a sudden, because they brought new players in, all of a sudden they clicked and they won the league. And we all know what happened last season. We won the Champions League and the league again.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is, I agree with what Moore said. They're not going to give Arnie Slot 200 million to spend. Everybody's banging about 400 million. They're not. They brought 300 million back in players they've sold. So Arsenal spent more in the summer than what we did, right? So we brought 7 new players in. This team takes time to gel. I honestly believe, because I've watched every game we've played again. I think Arnie Slot is using PSG as a blueprint, and I think I don't think he'll stay at Liverpool as long as Jurgen Klopp did. But I think he'll probably sign a 4 or 5 year contract. I said to my best mate, I was a bit controversial. I don't think Mo Salah and Isak can play together because you've got 2 players who don't track back and don't press. And I think that's a bit of a problem. But it's another debate that for another day. But I think we're going to be fine, and everybody's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, if that makes any sense. But if you look at the fixtures we've played compared to Arsenal, look who they've played at home compared to us. We've had
Well,
Arsenal at home. We've had a tricky start. So I'm not panicking at all. I think we're going to be okay. And if they got rid of Ernie Slot, who the hell do you bring in?
that's another question, and I don't know if there is anyone. I mean, again, we have talked about this earlier as well, and we've talked about how poor we've been playing for this season to start. One thing is, like Craig also mentioned, we have 6 or 7 players leaving, and we have the same amount coming in. One thing is having new players come in. You have taken a big chunk of the players who know the system out of. So you have there are bigger differences than just not the new guys working. You have experience gone out the door. And as Mo also said, which I liked, is the fact that we've given him a bunch of money. And why would we do that if there wasn't a plan, if there wasn't a thought behind all this? His contract originally ends after next season. How many years do you think he should get, Craig? 3 more on top of that?
I think they'll offer him a 5-year deal.
So 4 more.
I think they'll offer him probably 4 or 5 year contract, because I think the transfer window we've just had, that's stage 1. The next transfer window is stage 2, and then you'll see how he wants his team to perform and how he wants his players. He's got to put the players in the right positions. Florian Wirtz is a 10. He's not a left-sided player. He's a 10, so he needs to play him as a 10. Wirtz has come out and said this week himself, if you watch the video on Sky, I play as a number 10. So he's already told Arnie Slot where he wants to play. But he's done extra training with Germany this week on his shooting and weightlifting. So he's bulking himself up. So I'm a Germany player tonight, so I'm going to be watching Mr. Wirtz. So I'm not worried at all. I'm more excited than panicking, to be honest with you, because when it clicks there.
How about you, Mo? I mean, Sir Jim Ratcliffe came out here yesterday or something and said that Ruben Amorim needs 3 years. How long will you give Slot on the new contract?
If you're giving Amorim 3, you gotta give Slot an eternity. But jokes aside, I think a calm. Florian Wirtz is how old is he now? Florian Wirtz is 22, 24?
Wait.
Yeah.
I think he's like 21, bro.
21?
I think he's like 21, bro.
Frimpong's 24, Isak's 26.
He's just turned 22.
Wirtz is 22.
So I think if you give him a 5-year contract, by then Wirtz should be in his at the peak of his powers. Isak should be 30, again, peak of his powers. If you give him that contract, you need him because he's bought so many young players who need time to grow and time to assimilate to the squad. I think we're still going to do well this season. I still think we win it, but I think you give him enough time to have, because this is a squad. This is like a Galacticos level squad. You need to give them time to gel.
It is, bro. It is. It's a good shout, that, Mo. It's a good shout. It's very Galacticos. It's very.
Because
Sorry to interrupt me, but it's very Galacticos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
not
look
time
at-
to throw it out yet.
If you look at the average age of the squad, it's 22 years old. Taking Virgil out and more, who are coming to the end of the careers, and Alisson Becker. The average age is 20. The oldest player after that is Isak, who's 26.
Yeah.
Just turned. So
It's a young squad. Give him time. Give him time for them to grow. He's running a daycare right now.
Yeah.
Deck, do you agree with the 5-year the guys have been talking about? 4-year extension to the one he already has.
For slots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fine. I think there's like Craig said, who else is there really? You could argue for a Luis Enrique, you could argue for a Xabi Alonso, but let's be honest, in reality, it doesn't matter who's your manager, who your head coach is. If you are poor on the day, you are poor on the day. I think Arne Slot, him staying at the football club for me is absolutely fine. 4 or 5 years, like you said, after this year, 4 years, that's fine for me. I don't see why people would be so against it. It ties into what I mentioned first of all at the start of the stream, that why all of a sudden it's just because we're in a slight bit of poor form. Are people so up against Slot signing a contract extension in the first place, and then to throw in the fact there could be another 4 years? I'm sure there will be a few people in the fan base, like I said, who are quite naive, who don't think that it's deserved for whatever reason. Yes, he come in, he won the Premier League, and you might turn around and say, well, it was with Jurgen Klopp's squad. But when all the Arsenal fans and opposition fans were saying that we've won it with Klopp's, sorry, I said Arne Slot's squad, I mean Jurgen Klopp's squad, and then you have all the opposition fans saying about, oh, well, it's Klopp's team, and Liverpool fans are so against it. Why all of a sudden are we going to agree with them and saying, well, Arne Slot only won it because it was what Klopp built? That's not fair. So that's not fair. So why are people so against it? So I'm perfectly fine with it.
I'm going to back you up there, Deck, because, right, Mikel Arteta spent £1 billion at Arsenal and won nothing. He won the FA Cup, but that was Unai Emery's squad, not Mikel Arteta.
Well, there you go, mate, and that was 5 years ago, Craig.
Exactly. So he's won nothing unless you count the Charity Shield. Well, that's not a cup; it's a shield. That's a cheap 50 pence piece. So.
But are we afraid that this can happen to Slot as well? I mean, he can then win the Premier League with Klopp's team, and then when he tries to build his own, he's not getting anywhere.
It's a fair argument. It's a fair argument. I get where you're coming from, but I just think that like you said, like Mo said, this is like the squad we have. This is not what Arteta's had to work with. Arsenal have got a fantastic squad, and I'm not silly enough to sit here and say that they don't, because they do. And Arteta's very lucky with the players that he has, But like Mo mentioned, this is Galactico level. The squad that Liverpool have at the moment, I don't think that it will ever get to the stage of where it's been numbers of years, several years, should I say, before we win some sort of silverware. Like Craig mentioned, they won the FA Cup, but that was Unai Emery's team, and that was how many years ago? So, but it's a fair argument, but I don't think it'd ever get to the point with Slot, regardless of contract length and how long he's been at the club, and managerial, the way the footballing where it is at the moment, the manager only has to have a bad game and people are saying he needs to be sacked. I just don't think it'd ever get to that point with Arne Slot. But it's a fair argument. I can't disagree with it. I just think the squad, the level that we have, the players that we brought in, the age of the players. I think Craig mentioned the average squad age is 22. It's just, I don't think we're at such a. It's a risk, but I don't think the risk is as high. If that makes sense, I'm trying to put it on a table that we all can understand. You know what I mean? It's a bit hard to put into it, to describe it, but yeah. Do you know what I mean, lads?
Let's have Mo's opinion, because
go on, Mo. Sorry, Mo.
I think I agree with everything everybody's saying. there's this weird thing from Liverpool fans right now where I think they've tasted so much success that now we've become a little bit of a spoiled fan base, because when Klopp came in, it took him a couple of years to get anything meaningful. And obviously they both inherited vastly different squads. Arne Slot inherited a third place Finnish team who could have maybe won the league that season if Mohamed Salah wasn't injured. But you just need it. Like, there just needs to be a little bit more patience. Slot has showed us that he can work with the tools given to him, and now more than that, he has the tools that he wanted in the first place. Like, he signed his own players as his squad with his identity. It just needs a little bit more time, a little bit more faith from the fan base and the players themselves. Because if you see the squad chemistry isn't what it should be, Mohamed Salah needs to figure out how to play with a completely new right back and a new striker in front of him, a new winger on the left. The other players need to trust. I feel like a big problem is they're not trusting Wirtz with the ball, and I think Salah needs to talk to his team and if you have Wirtz should be playing where Coutinho played.
It's been a long time since we've had that out and out 10, though.
Exactly.
Since we've had that centre attacker midfielder, since Coutinho with Mo. It's been a long time since we've had that.
He is the closest player we've had to Coutinho since Coutinho left.
Okay. I'm just going to ask one question before we move on to the other one, and I'm going to start with Craig on this one.
Oh God.
What? Easy there, brother. A short answer. Not a short story or a novel, just a short answer.
Not an essay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What will you consider a disaster of a season?
A disaster of a season.
Yeah.
Not retaining the league title.
Okay. Dick.
Is there anything more disastrous than that?
Okay. Well, I mean,
realistically, you know, I think disaster is a strong word, but I think it'd be a dishonest moment if the football club just general morale for the team for what we've been through for how long we've fighted against teams like Manchester City. I just think it'd be sad if the football club didn't win any sort of silverware this season, whether that's a Carabao Cup or FA Cup, it doesn't matter. But I think we just need to keep the trophies ticking over each season. Just win some silverware.
Win something.
Yeah.
If we don't win anything, that is okay.
Yeah.
Mo, what about you?
For me, it's same thing. We need some type of silverware. I need to see that party bus. I need to see that party bus.
Yeah. Carabao Cup, did we get one?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Carabao Cup, it is what it is. I need to see an FA Cup, a Champions League, or a Premier League, or any combination of those three.
We got the number 20 last year, and then we got the Carabao Cup this year. All right.
Get the bus out. Get the bus out.
I just want to add on to what Mo was saying about Wirtz. The thing is, if you watch it, Germany's my favourite national team, anyway. But if you watch him for Germany, and you watch him for Bayern Munich, he's got a very, very quick football brain. And the thing at the minute is, he's thinking quicker of what's happening and what he's going to do before the other lads have. And once they get onto his wavelength, there's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, okay. All right. My thoughts are we have to win something, and I agree. So I also think we should give him an extension of 4 years. Mo talked me over. I only had 3 years extension in my head, but I agree with the age of the squad. We should give him time to work with those guys. Let's go over to one of our favorite topics: rumors. Now. Yay! Transfer window never ends here at Anything Liverpool. Now, well, the point is, the last player we've been linked to now is Olise who's
Olise.
you know, hasn't, you know, hit the ground running as far as what I've learned from Bayern Munich. Is this a player we want, Mo? Is this a place we need to strengthen, or should we? First of all, would you like to see Olise in the squad, or should we do something else instead?
I think the problem is after we bought Ekitike, I said the same thing. We don't need more going forward, but again, who can say no to Alexander Isak?
Mm.
Who can say no to Mike? What's his name? Michael Olise. My thing is, if we do, it has to be at the expense of Mohamed Salah moving on. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Or I don't think we need him at all. Because the next step for Liverpool, I think, is we bought 2 fullbacks whose entire play style exists in bombing forward and tracking back. Frimpong is a locomotive, so is Kirk is. I think we need to play a more narrow formation to give them the opportunity to bomb forward and back with maybe a 2 up top with Wirtz like right in and behind them, maybe drifting left, maybe drifting right. And Olise, I don't know where he fits in that, because then we would be doing the same thing we're doing this season, where we're fitting square pegs into a round hole. Would I be happy with the team spending that money? Maybe. But do I think we need to? No, we need to focus on shoring up our center back situation.
Yeah.
Craig, do you think we're looking for Olise, or do you think this is just clickbait from reporters? And do you see him coming to us? Is that a real transfer target for us, do you think, or is it just a name being dropped?
I can see from what I've been reading this afternoon, there is concrete interest from Liverpool. I can see him as a replacement for Mo Salah, but my thought is, why do we need to bring him in when we've got Federico Chiesa sat there? What do we do with Chiesa? Do we sell him then? Because he can play on the left and on the right. And, I mean, we spoke about the gaffer slot. I'd love Liverpool to do what they were doing last season, get the substitutions right. If you look at the Palace game, he put Endo on instead of Chiesa, where we could have won the game. He went for a point. So the 3 points we should have got, we ended up losing. And basically, he made the same mistakes again at Stamford Bridge. But I don't think we don't. My biggest concern is at centre half.
Yeah, I agree with the centre half thing,
because Canate is 110% on his head turn, and then I think he's already decided he's going to Madrid. But I've been reading a lot again today. Matt Gay, he's deflecting, he's straight batting everything. He's not talking about it. But apparently, Real Madrid are interested, but they can't sign him because they've already got they've already got the quota in. So, I don't think we'll sign anybody in January. The thing is, I agree with Mo. I think Liverpool now have become, the only way I can explain it, Liverpool are now the English Real Madrid. Once we leave our calling card, we only leave it once. And if you're not interested, we'll move on to somebody else.
Okay, I agree, and I think this, like, I have no way that's pronounced, but I think I really don't think we are that interested because we have the options we have. But I mean, we're also linked with half a dozen centre backs, and we're also linked with Wharton from Crystal Palace. So, Dick, would you like? I mean, like Mo said, if the club wants Olise for some reason we possibly don't see, they will get him, but they will go for him. But do you think we should, focus on other issues like a midfielder or centre backs or whatever you like?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, just to put a pin in this centre back situation, I think we all agree the key priority for Liverpool Football Club, whether it's January or whether it's in the summer, which I think we'd be stupid to wait until the summer, is to get a centre half. I said all summer we needed 2 centre-halves. The fact that we showed Gerald Quanta we needed 2 centre-halves, definitely. I said we needed 2 before Gerald Quanta went. And look what's happened. We left it till last minute for Mark Gay. It didn't come through for whatever reason. We'll never know. I think the football club get Mark Gay in January. As much as they've come out and they've said that they don't want to, why wait? Why when you can wait to get him for the free? Just to be quick, just to touch on this quickly, Leone and Canate's poor form, and also Canate's head being seen to go to Real Madrid. We'll get to January. He'll have 6 months left. A contract won't be signed, and the same thing that happened with Trent Alexander-Arnold is happening with Ibrahim Konate. So I think that Liverpool won't wait until the summer. We'll go and get a centre half in January at all costs because we're relying on Ryan Gravenberch and Wataru Endo. Joe Gomez has also made the glass. Just to touch on the Michael Olise thing, I feel like what Craig said about, well, you know, you've got Chiesa on the bench and he's bringing on Endo. Why would we go out and buy Olise? I think it might have been Mo or yourself who mentioned about, you know, we got Chiesa there to play on the right wing if Mo Salah retires and like this year when he goes to AFCON. But doesn't that just go to show you the way that the whole Chiesa scenario, and he's almost become this like figure at the football club where like the fans just love him because he never plays. You know, he's got a great song and stuff. Does that go to show you that the football club really don't see him as anything to do with a Salah replacement whatsoever? Not that you can replace him, Mo Salah, but just to be on that right side of the field. I don't think Chiesa is in Arne Slot's plans whatsoever. As sad as that is for me to say, I love Federico Chiesa. I just don't think it's going to happen. That then leads me to my conclusion on this, that I think the football club are going to go for a Michael Olise. He's left for Crystal Palace. He's went to Bayern Munich. He's been all right. I don't watch the Bundesliga, but from what I can see, he's a good player. And I think that in term is definitely 100% a legitimate option for Richard Hughes and Arne Slot to look at. For him to come, not to be a Salah replacement as such, because you can't replace a Mo Salah, you can't replace a Van Dijk, but you can bring in players who are very, very clinical in what they do.
But
You know what I mean?
If we see him as a replacement for Salah, why didn't we go? Why didn't we go for him in the summer?
Because I think in the summer it was Arne Slot's first. It was Arne Slot's first hit at it. Let's say he didn't spend not on the year before. Chiesa come in for 10-12 million pounds. He's nothing. That's nothing for the football club. This was Arne Slot saying, right, I need this, this, and this. Because you could argue that point about why didn't we get a centre half sorted? Why didn't we bring in Adam Wharton as in the midfield, who I think's again a great footballer. You know, he's going to come in and not only add depth to the squad, but he's a great player. So I don't think why didn't we bring in Olise in the summer? I just think don't think. If I'm being honest, I'm not. I think we might have just run out of time. I think if the transfer window was still open, you'd see Mark Gay, you'd see other players, because I don't think it was ever a financial issue.
No, but the point is, the Gehi situation wasn't our fault because everything was.
Glasner said he'd leave Crystal Palace if Gay didn't stay. Mark Gay had a goodbye video to the Palace fans and everything.
Yeah,
in his head, he played his last game for Palace.
But the point is, if the club sees Olise as the man, the player we want,
right,
it's easier to buy him before he goes to Munich than hope they sell him next year. You see my point?
No, I do see your point, and I've been an admirer of Michael Olise for a good couple of years. Same with Eze as well. I think he's a great player. Arsenal have got a great player there, but I think if we're talking in the last couple of years, last say 18 months, Mo Salah was in the form of his life. People were adamant Mo Salah was going to leave a couple of years previous, and he stayed, signed a contract agreement. I think it was 2021, 2022. Then he's come again and he signed another 2-year deal. So after having one of the best seasons that we've seen in the Premier League, so if we're talking the last sort of 18 months, I don't think the football club ever had a chance or a reason to justify it before he went to Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mo, do you think we will go for him now that he's gone to Bayern, or do you think we will find our replacement somewhere else?
It doesn't. Again, I feel like it doesn't fit the he's young, and it does, and at the same time doesn't fit the Liverpool ethos of buying cheap, selling high. I think, but we've shown a new level of greed, for lack of a better term, this last transfer window. A new level of greed, and after the way he's been playing this season for Bayern, the way him, Kane, and Diaz are on super form, he will be integral to them keeping their grip on the Bundesliga for the next couple seasons and their Champions League aspirations. We're not going to get him for anything less than a couple hundred, 120 mil. And I don't think that's money we should be spending at this moment.
Fair point, that.
About you, Craig, do you think Samanyo is a better option, or would you still like to have Olise if we can get him and want him?
I wouldn't touch Semenyo at all. I don't think he's worth 75 million. No way. I mean, he's playing well at the minute, but for Bournemouth, but so is Kirkez. And Kirkez is struggling at the moment. Now, for me, just touching on Kirkez for a minute, for me, the mistake Ernie Slott's made is when you sign for Liverpool, you're not automatically given the shirt. You've got to earn the right to play that position, which is, and I'm going back a long time now, over 50 years. I've seen, I posted something on the chat about a right back. He's the greatest we've ever had, and I think he is. Phil Neal, nobody will ever touch him. And the thing is, I don't think we need Semenyo at all. If we sign Semenyo, what happens to Rio and Gamora? We don't need Semenyo. We've got Rio there. We're blooding a young guy there, and he's phenomenal, and he's got the world at his feet. So, and Olise, I'm not too bothered whether he comes in or not. I'd sooner Chiesa stay than bring him in. But I think we're seeing the twilight. I'm not saying Moore's finished like a lot of people are. This is what Mo Salah does season in, season out. He only needs one game, and he'll be back to it the more we love. But I still think he's struggling with the Jota situation for me.
I do. That's a good point, Craig.
Because if you look at the Bournemouth game and you look at the Burnley game, just 2 games for example, he's been in tears at both of them.
Yeah.
And nobody's taking this into consideration. He's lost his best mate. But let's just imagine we all work together, right? And we're all at the same place, and we've lost a colleague, and we go into the changing room every morning before we start our shift, and his locker's there, and he's not. How are we gonna feel?
Yeah, it's fucked, isn't it? It's fucked up, yeah.
It's the same at the AXA, and it's the same in the changing room at Anfield. I know his shirt's still there and his name's there, but that's only for this season. It's going to be removed next year. So whoever's going to sit there next season, I tell you what, he's going to have to be some player to sit there, and he's going to have some mental strength, because they're going to say, "You're sitting where I made you sit." So this is going to take a while to get over, but this is where we come in and we can help them through it. But I don't think we need a Olise, to be honest with you. We've got a good enough squad. We need a quality centre half, and we need a quality midfielder to take Endo's place. And I think Wharton, but
Wharton.
Is he a typical Liverpool player for you guys?
Yeah,
I don't think Wharton, as of today, is the main guy I would like to go for. But I trust the club so much when they go for a player. I'm not talking about rumors and all this jibber jabber. I'm talking about when the team says we're going for him, and they've been doing that since the club days before Edwards went. So I think when they say they want a player, I believe that is the right player. So if they say Olise, or if they say Wharton, or if they say, Gary Neville's grandma, I don't care. If they say if they say one player is the person, I believe them. They know better than me.
Yeah, exactly. Richard Hughes knows better than anyone.
Yeah, this like somebody LFC. it's not an excuse for Salah playing shit. Like Craig said now, it's had a huge impact on the whole team, on the whole organization.
Yeah, the football club altogether.
Yeah, and we've also talked about the reason why he's been playing shit. He's been playing shit because of the death of Jota. They were very close, but he has a new team to get relations with. He has new right back. He has new players up front he has to get used to. So a lot of playmates like that has moved on. They've gone to Bayern and gone other clubs. So it is more complicated, but we cannot downplay the impact of death of Jota. Anything other than that is disgraceful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I may, that comment itself, like the comment that just came up on the screen, I think it's a little harsh, like way too harsh. I think it can be a lot harsh. I don't think it can be understated how and like somebody yes, they're coworkers, but they don't work a regular schedule. They're training together. They're playing.
It's
together.
different, bro. It's different,
They live in the same city. Like they're very, very close. So to lose somebody in the way that they lost Jota, in like a very tragically fast way, and then to just be expected to play a game of football with a team of people who are there to replace the person who you were that close with.
Sure.
And like it's being felt. Like maybe when Mo Salah enters the change room and he goes to look at where Jota's locker would be, he's not there.
We don't see that. We don't see that. You know, as fans, we don't get it.
Exactly. Late in the game, whenever we needed a goal, we would call on Diogo Jota to come on and score a goal or to maybe find something out of nowhere. And then the team would look for that. He's not there anymore. There's so much psychological. Like football is as much psychological as it is physical, and when your head's not all there, more even. When your head's not all there, there needs to be a little bit more empathy shown towards the team. Obviously, with the amount of money we spent, there's expectations, and how good we've been, there's been expectations. But on the other hand, a man has just passed away. It's like, again, it's just like that comment rubbed me the wrong way. I think not us saying that that's a reason for him playing that bad isn't disrespectful. That comment was very disrespectful.
Just to point out, when no one mentions Jota, well, we have been talking about the death of Jota.
This whole season's for him. This whole season's been dedicated to him.
Yeah, so we have been talking about it even when we won in the start of the season. But the point is, one thing is, I mean, if you, it's like Mo said, if you have a family member that you work with, and then you live with them, like a wife or something, and that person dies. I mean, for all of us guys, if I lived with one of you guys and we've been family for 5 years and you die, I can still do this job, but I don't have to perform
at the level he does.
No, there is a big difference. You and I can do a job. We can pull ourselves together 5 minutes and smile.
And the thing is, what people tend to forget is this is the only thing guaranteed in life, that it's going to happen to all of us eventually. Your life's going to come to an end. It's going to happen to every one of us. It's the only thing 100% guaranteed in life from the moment you're born. You can change your job. You can marry a different woman. You can move house. You can move countries. You can. The only two things you don't do, or the only one thing you don't do, is change your football club. You can change everything else, unless you play football professionally, like these guys, because it's a job. You can move clubs, but as a supporter, once you pick your club, that's it for life. So that's the only thing what you can't change. And I agree with every single thing every one of you have said. I just think the Liverpool fan base need to cut the boys some slack. And instead of going on social media and slagging them off, get behind them. Simple as that to me.
Yeah.
My last words on this, because this was not the topic today, but my last word is, if we have won 10-0 in every game and everyone was outstanding and Salah was shit, we would still have a discussion you know. And it's more visible in my opinion now because he was the one that bailed us out every game last year, and we have been playing shit so far this season. So we've all been looking for him to do your stuff, do what you did last year, and we see he can't do it because there is some wrong. So, but that's a total another discussion. But I thought we could bring it up since the chat mentioned it. Last thing I want to talk about today before we move on is, well, it's our favorite time of the year, international breaks. And
least favorite time.
Jolly time. But we've got a few games tonight. Craig mentioned Germany, Sweden are playing. I haven't seen the lineups yet because I've been kind of emotionally involved in this one. But we had a few guys playing yesterday. And Salah scored now 2 goals, and he's now the most scoring African player in a World Cup qualifying ever. He's even in front of Drogba. Like everyone south of Liverpool says he's the best African player ever. Not. So Gakpo scored a couple of goals and had an assist.
He scored a brace.
Yeah, he scored a brace, both on penalties, nonetheless, against Malta, I think it was. But Frimpong played, Van Dijk played. Almost every player from Liverpool played well.
Yeah, we had 4 people
yesterday.
starting 11.
I made a video on this today.
Yeah, so I'll start with Craig on this one. Do you think this the guys going away, getting their heads somewhere else than the poor form that we have? Do you think that is a good thing? And do you think the good performances they do now for the national team is a good thing when they come back for us?
I think the international break came at the right time for us, to be honest with you, because if you look at, I've looked at Frimpong's performance for Holland last night, and he 6 out of 6 successful dribbles, he 8 out of 10 won his duels, he'd 19 out of 24 successful passes, he'd 1 clearance, he'd 1 interception. He'd 1 recovery and he'd 1 chance created and 1 shot on target. So he had a decent game last night for Holland, but he was playing where Mo Salah played last night for them. So, and we know he's got rapid pace, but I think it'll do the lads good to get away, get some proper game time in. Hopefully, my fingers crossed, I hope he plays 90 minutes tonight for Sweden, because if he gets 90 minutes under his belt, I can't wait for next Sunday. I'm already building up to it now, and we're over 9 days away, aren't we? But what a great game to get our season back on track next weekend.
I agree. Dek, do you think the good performances they are having now is more based on poorer opposition, a different system, or do you think it will have an effect on them that they can take with them when they come back? Something positive, a break from the struggles we have had.
Definitely. I made a video for on this today. It'll be posted hopefully this evening, or if not tomorrow. Just sort of mentioning the fact that Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo scored a brace, and whether that is down to Arne Slot's tactics at Liverpool in the slight dip of form, whether it's just because they're away with international teammates and it's just good for the morale. So personally, I think I look at international breaks, regardless of how we're playing, as a bonus, regardless, because yes, no one likes an international break because we love football, we love watching Liverpool, but as a whole, I think going away, seeing your international teammates is very beneficial. And I think it's good. We've seen this before. The international break, the first international break of the season, Florian Wirtz scored a great free kick for Germany, And I made a video about that saying, you know, wow, look at this, you know, haters are going to hate, but, you know, he's finding his feet, he's going to come in and he's been around his international teammates and he's going to hit the ground running when he comes back to Liverpool, and it didn't happen. Unfortunately, as much as I think Florian Wirtz has played well, he hasn't got them goals and assists. So I just think it's good, but I also think that at the same time it can be a little bit risky, because you don't want them to sort of be separated, because we want them to be training together and playing together as much as possible so that they gel. So there's pros and cons. Personally, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's good, and I think Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo will come back, and hopefully they both like a goal against United. So I see your background, the 7-0. They both scored in that game. So, you know, let's see. You know, it's United, but at Anfield, it's if anything, it couldn't be better for us to come back and really, you know, we're due a hammering. Do you know what I mean? We're due to hammer somebody.
Well, before I go to you, Mo, to hear your thoughts, the one thing I can say for certain is the result of Slott's tactics is that Gakpo scored on penalties because he can't take them at Liverpool. So that's the only difference I know for certain is because of the tactics. But but other than that, Mo, do you think it was, like, you know, Craig mentioned, a good time for an international break to get their head out of their game and focus on something else, or would you have liked them to, you know, been together, practicing all together and get ready for United game?
This is the perfect time to have it. Like, if you could see, you should have. City was in the same situation as us, losing 2 on the bounce. Come back from international break, they're a whole different beast right now. I think those losses in a row were compiling because of just there was a huge mentality problem at the team. Morale's down. Nobody feels comfortable in how they're playing. So they need to go. International breaks is just a way for them to have fun with their friends for a bit, because a lot of the teams who are qualifying have already qualified, and they're just it's just a fun time with their friends and they get to play in systems that are more suited to him, because Cody Gakpo's importance to the Netherlands team is way more important than he is to the Liverpool team. Where it's on the Germany team is already he's already solidified. They have a whole position for him. He plays his camp position. He gets the ball where he needs to go when it needs to go there. And I think being comfortable and getting goals, or even getting to play well, like Frimpong playing for Netherlands, is a good opportunity for them to play with other people who aren't the people they play with on the same team, so they can increase their adaptability. Like, if you've been watching the France training videos, Ekitike is lighting up the training games.
That's because he's playing for us now and he's got more confidence.
Exactly. So when he comes back against United, like, I'm a stories guy. I love a good story. Wirtz getting his first goal against Manchester United.
Oh, bro. Imagine
it's pure absolute cinema. That's what I need. I need that.
Bro, imagine the scene.
So this international break, like, before the break, United would have said this is the perfect time to play Liverpool.
If that happens, you can end the season now for me.
Yep, and then so I need him to get one against United. But yeah, United would have said this is the best time to play Liverpool. It's always the best time to play United. So I think we got something for them.
Then I'm going to ask you another question. I'll start with you, Craig. If I host a stream next Friday in 1 week or whatever, and I ask you a prediction for the game against United, blah 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 blah, and I say, what do you think about the international break now, when we have gotten 3 major injuries? You still think it's a positive thing?
I'm always positive when I play United at Anfield.
Are you positive about international break if we get Ekitike, Salah, and Gravenberch back injured? Are you still positive to international break?
But you could say that about any team, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can say that
about Liverpool.
Right. So, I'd still be positive because of the squad we've got. We've got 2 players for every position. So, you know, and you are going to pick injuries up come what may throughout the season. So, I mean, everybody wants the players to come back, particularly Arnie Slot. You want them all to come back injury-free. The only one who's struggling with this for me, we've not mentioned him tonight, and he's going to be the last one back, I think, from this one as well, is McAllister, because of
Do you know what, Craig? I've got to say to
because
interrupt you, mate, but that's a very good point, Craig. Very good point.
of the flight he's going to have to come back. I mean, they're playing later, so the only one who's going to really struggle here is Maka. So and he's not fit.
But he can get
You
fit
know,
by playing for the national team.
yeah, but he looks a ghost in himself for me at the minute. So if you go fast forward into next Sunday, McAllister doesn't start against United. Szoboszlai goes in there.
All right, but we have had issues with injuries when it comes to international breaks. I agree that the timing, because of the recent result, is better than it might have been otherwise. But Mo, do you see this window, international break, as a good thing if we come back with, let's say, Konate is injured then, with our issues in our defense? I mean, what will you say if I ask you the question on Friday?
The thing is, injuries are equally likely at any moment. They could get injured. Let's say if there was no international break and they were training for Liverpool, they could easily get injured that way. I feel like that's something we can't control. We can only think about the positives, and the positives of the international break is it's a good time for them to drop a little bit of that weight that's been on them after losing 3 games in a row and get a fresh feeling, and hopefully they can put everything behind them and start fresh for the new set of games after the international break. Like, there's no better time to play United than a time where we're angry and upset.
Yeah.
But Deck, Mo says that injuries can happen anytime, and I agree. But football in general see more and more injuries due to match fitness or match fatigue, because one thing is training every day, one thing is playing every third day. So if you play more, you get injured more than if you play less and train. So do you agree with Mo that it's the same if they play national games or train at home? Or
in regards to do I think that the risk is as high for injury if they're away playing internationally, just as much as it's a good thing that, okay, they can put it behind them and they can be with their friends and they can move forward for the new set of games? Is that what you mean? So you think that the injury, they're just at risk of injury as they would be playing or training for Liverpool if they're away internationally?
I'm asking. I mean, the mental. I agree with both Craig and Mo on the mental aspect. It's good to get your head somewhere else, to go away, to get a reboot of the brain. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But the fatigue on the body, is that is an issue. It's been talked about since. So one thing is that the head gets a rest, but the body doesn't get the rest. And that, for me, increased the injury. So it doesn't help if it comes back with a hamstring. If his head is talking.
They could be in the best mindset for they could have been spending time with friends, family, international colleagues and stuff, and they could be in the best mindset in the world. But then if they all of a sudden pull a hamstring or they hurt themselves and they're injured for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, not saying season-ending injuries, but it could be anything. Then no, it's not beneficial at all. It's not beneficial at all. The only reason why it might be beneficial is if, like, for the mental side of it, but there's always that risk that a player can get injured, though, even if they're at. You could say, well, let's just say there was no international break and there was no games for 2 weeks and the players were staying in Liverpool and they were still just training regularly, playing friendlies within the football club. An injury could take place here. It doesn't matter whether they're overseas or whether they're at Liverpool. It doesn't matter. They can still get injured. So you just pray that doesn't happen.
But mostly, at least on the club, the most injuries we got was when they were playing in nationals.
Oh yeah, like it'd be season defining if Virgil van Dijk or Ibrahim Konate picked up an injury while they were at the Netherlands and at France. It'd be season defining, especially at centre half. That's our weakest link. If Virgil, I said it on Wednesday night on the stream, if Virgil van Dijk picked up a knock playing for Holland, our season is we're done for. We really are. Like we especially with Leone's injury and stuff now. We be playing Canate and Gomez. If Gomez hurt himself, because let's be honest, he's made of glass. And then you're playing Endo at the back or Gravenberch. It reminds me of the season where 21-22, was it, where we had that many injuries at centre-back. Henderson was playing at centre-half. So, international breaks can be scary. I get that. It's a good point, because if Virgil van Dijk, like I said, come back injured because he played a friendly, our season's ruined.
If anything, there's too much football.
Yeah,
That's kind
do
of
you
my
know
point.
what, Craig? Yeah. If anything, there's too much football. Why are England playing Wales last night? For what reason?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's just,
So
We've
and
got
that's
that-
and
we've got the Champions League as well.
exactly, and that was kind of my point, because I think it's a good for the head, but and this it's still early in the season, so the biggest match fatigue hasn't come yet. That will come at New Year's or that part, but it all adds up anyhow. So but let's have our fingers crossed and hope that no one
Fingers crossed, lads.
I would sooner have this blip, what we've had, well, if you want to call it a blip, because we've lost 2 league games. I'd sooner have it now than in April, because every club's going to have it. The only thing stopping Arsenal winning the league is Mikel Arteta, not
and
Arsenal.
us
And us. So I think they've got the best squad in the league now. Arsenal, I'll be honest with you, they've got a better squad than us. But
I said that at the start of the stream. The Arsenal squad is amazing.
But it's the man is too negative. It's too negative. You don't play City at home and play for a draw and end up getting hammered.
Fingers crossed in the chat. Fingers crossed in the chat.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that we don't have any injuries, and fingers crossed that Arsenal don't win the league.
All right, I'll just have one question. I know it's a week away, and it's probably going to happen.
Predictions for United.
No prediction. But Mo, we usually don't do very well against in the first game after international break. We're kind of wobbly that way, mostly because they have to adapt again to coming back home. We have players like Craig mentioned, who has a long flight and come in the door when the guys are changing. So how do you see us performing? Because the performance has been the problem so far this season, not necessarily the results, because we're 1 point off the top, but the performance. How certain are you that we will give a good performance based on what we have and the fact that it's been an international break?
I'm not gonna put untoward expectations and say we're gonna perform as we should. I think it's gonna be better. I hope so. And even if it isn't, it's United.
Right.
United they've only beaten teams that are either A, being relegated, or B, 10 men, like down to 10 men. If we don't get any red cards and we hopefully don't get relegated at the end of the season, I think we're fully capable of beating Manchester United.
All right. Okay, Dick. What about you? Obviously we all want to win against United, but for me personally, the performance now is kind of more important. I would rather win 1-0 with a good performance and see improvement instead of winning 7-0 and playing a shit game again.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely. I think we look. If you win, you win. If it's 3 points, it's 3 points. But I do think we need to. It's not just about how many goals. It's the overall play. The possession. When we played against Chelsea, I think we had a 43, 45, something between that and 47, say percent possession against Chelsea. That was the lowest side Liverpool have had possession wise against the Premier League side in the Premier League for a very, very long time. So I think it's not just whether we win 7-0, because we all want that to happen in any game, regardless whether it's against United or not. But I think we just need to go out there and we need to play well. We need to keep the ball and we need to be a lot quicker than what we have been. And hopefully that will happen and we will lock in. And like I said, 3 points is 3 points. We win the game at Anfield against Man United. Like Mo said, they beat Sunderland. Great. The relegation fodder. Unless we're getting relegated, we should have them, especially at Anfield. So as much as I'd like to see us absolutely batter them 7-8-0. I think I'd rather see a really solid performance. A really say a one, maybe not a 1-0, say comfortable 2-0, but we outplay them. Our football is better than theirs, and I think that's a big sign that going forward we will be better overall. Because if we're playing a shit team, like I know it's Manchester United and stuff, but let's just say they have been shit. You can score 2 or 3 goals really quickly because the heads will fall off and they don't know how to defend properly because they're all over the place. But that doesn't show that we're gonna then all of a sudden go and win 5, 6, 7, 8 games on the bounce, which is what we need to do. We need to see an improvement in the overall football aspect of it.
Craig, brother, you're going to get the last word on that question. Do you agree with our fellow friends here that the performance is a bigger signal than, for an instant, 7-0 win?
I do. I think the most important thing for me going into this game next weekend is that we keep a clean sheet. And the thing is, we struggle with teams that play us at the back because the fullbacks can bomb straight on. So I think team selection is going to be important. I've got a funny feeling Isak will start that game. I'm confident we'll beat United because United, I've watched every game they've played and they have a 15-minute spell where they look decent and then the wheels fall off. But I've never seen a manager as stubborn in all my life in the Premier League as Ruben Amorim.
Ange?
He won't change. He's not going to change for love nor money, right? Now, unfortunately, right, I can't stand Man United and they don't like us. It's rivalry. And the thing is, I think we'll win next weekend. And when we do me, you 3 guys, do me a favour, please. Go on YouTube and go on fan reactions and just watch the United ones. There's one deck. There's one guy and more. He's called the Flying Pig. Have you watched him?
No, I
haven't seen him.
He's a United fan. He's got his own channel. He's called the Flying Pig, right? And if you want to taste of what he's like, watch the video clips of when we beat him 5-0 and 7-0. He absolutely loses his shit. Honestly, you'll love it. It'll cheer you up so
So Craig, when we win, we
I used to love watching Goldbridge, but Goldbridge is too nice.
Goldbridge, yeah.
He's chilled out. He's way too nice now.
I think we have
nice, isn't he? Yeah.
I think we have to wrap it up, guys. But Craig is the only one that can give us homework. So we will take you with us, Craig, and do the homework. So
honestly, you won't regret it. Trust me.
All right. I just want to say thank you for you guys for joining me on this chat. As I said earlier, if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe and put on your notifications so you don't miss anything, and check out our social media platforms like X, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and goodbye.
Cheers. Bye.